So I've been searching the internet to find the best replica GT350 steering wheel, and I think I found it. Check this out. The first thing we're going to get into is a Scott Drake Ford license Cobra 65 GT350 horn button that looks pretty identical. It's actually a really pretty piece. So let me get to it. Here is that horn button. Look how beautiful this thing is. It is so beautiful and high quality. Look at that. Looks pretty realistic to the original one. Has that glass finish. It's a mold. So I think what they did is they put the sticker in, like, not the sticker, but the emblem is in there. It has like this like 3D look, and then they injected it with this like clear coat, which makes it really nice. So that's that piece right there, so you guys can see it. And it's double-sided tape, or it has a tape on it, because you got to tape it on. So isn't that beautiful? So all this is kind of irrelevant. This, I guess you can see how this goes on here. There's this little chrome piece that goes here, and this kind of goes on there, which completes the piece. See that? That completes the horn. Look how nice. Doesn't that look really authentic? I think they did a really great job on it. Alright, so let me show you the steering wheel, and then we'll put this on the steering wheel so you can see how close it looks like to the original. The steering wheel is Corso Feorce, I think is the way you pronounce it. And the steering wheel, to be honest with you, it's not bad, but it does look like it's fake wood a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And it doesn't look that much different than the CJ Pony Parts actual steering wheel that I purchased. I just noticed that I think the hole's different and there's less bolts. You need this steering wheel to work with this horn button. That's why we purchased this steering wheel and I sold my first one. I can show you clips of the original one I have from CJ Pony Parts, which is not a bad steering wheel. This is not a bad steering wheel. I'm just saying I like this one better just because of the horn setup. But the size of the steering wheel and just the way it looks, it's pretty identical to the CJ Pony Parts. It's not any bigger, it's not any smaller. They're about 15 inches. Let me measure it real quick. All right, so I'm gonna measure the steering wheel, and if you measure the outside, it's just shy of 15 inches. Now, I think the real GT350 steering wheel is like a 16, either a 16 or a 15 and a half. I don't think it's actual 15. So right here is the original steering wheel for my 66 Mustang. So I'm gonna measure this steering wheel, which I know is not gonna be 15. It's actually 16 inches. And I know that with this part right here at the top, if you pull on it, it's supposed to measure correctly. So it's measuring 16 inches. Or you push in on it, 16 inches. So this steering wheel is 16 inches. The aftermarket one is 15 inches. So there's a 1 inch difference. I don't have a GT350, a real one, to look at it, but from what I've seen in the images, it looks a lot closer to a 16 than it does to a 15. I'm wondering if it's like a 15 and change, like 15 and a half or something like that. But I've looked up a real one that you can purchase. You can purchase from the company. It's a British company that makes that steering wheel. And I don't have the name off the top of my head, but there's a company where in Philadelphia that I've been buying Shelby parts. Like this quick steer, this is a Shelby, and I think it's a remanufactured part, but all GT350s came with these pitman arms are extended. I bought this from that guy. He sells a lot of replica stuff for GT350s and for the 65, 66. And on his information, I'll show it right now, it says that it's a 15-inch steering wheel. So I could be incorrect or not, but if I look at image, and I'll show you guys some images, it looks a lot bigger than the 15-inch, but I digress. This is not a bad size. One thing I will say about these wood steering wheels, if you track your car and you're like me and your hands sweat a lot, even when you daily drive, the steering wheel is very hard to grip. I literally have to wear mechanic gloves or driving gloves to drive my car properly. But I have slicks. I have a 16:1 gear ratio box with no power steering. It's a manual steering car, and it's dropped. And it's gonna get even harder once I put in my pitman arm for my Shelby quick steer setup. So kind of just want to get that on the clear. Let me go ahead and put the horn button so you can see how identical it looks. This is the best part. So the way you install this hub, you're gonna have these three pieces here. I don't know if they're off the side of the camera, but they're here. Okay, you're gonna have all these pieces. You're gonna use this piece first, which is gonna go in your hub that I don't have here, but it's gonna go on the back side here. like so, like that. So you're gonna have that in your hub assembly, right? Then this guy has clips. You just clip it however you want. It doesn't really matter. You clip it, and this is gonna be spring, so it's not gonna let it clip in all the way. There's gonna be a spring on it because this is an actual working horn button. Then your Shelby, you take your sticker off, make sure you're in center. Boom, you drop it in. But look at that. Doesn't that look pretty identical to the original? That's crazy. So there's a close-up of the horn button in the steering wheel. Look how identical that looks like to the real deal. And this setup, I don't remember the price, but it was under $400. I think I paid with the button, the steering wheel, and the hub assembly. I did get a discount from Summit Racing due to their Cyber Monday sale that they have after Thanksgiving. I think I paid like 330 bucks, something like that. And if you apply on their app, they also give you a $5 discount, which is kind of cool. But just look at that. The thing looks freaking awesome. Looks pretty realistic to the original. I have a picture of the original on my wall. I'll show you right now. So here is the steering wheel for a 65 GT350 competition model and street car. Look how identical that looks. Look at the button. It's perfect. So I want to do some beauty shots so you guys can see what this horn button and steering wheel combo looks like. I think it looks amazing. If you look at the Cobra logo, it just looks perfect in that black silhouette. It just looks awesome. And I really think this steering wheel is high quality for under 400 bucks. I think I paid $333 for it. So there's only one imperfection that I don't like about this steering wheel. And let me zoom in and see if you guys can see it. But you can see a little bit of the bolts where it mounts right here. Right there. Can't really see it on this side. You can see at the top. See it? That kind of bugs me. That piece right there. But other than that, steering wheel looks great. I'll update you guys when I install it. I'm waiting for my hub. I can't install it. We'll install it soon. So there's a few things I want to talk about the GT350 steering wheel. So you have three options. You have the CJ Pony Parts, which is like in the $200 range, and then you got the one I purchased from Holly or Scott Drake that is in the like 350 range. And then you have an original one that you can buy. I'll show you the link here. And all the links will be in the description down below, which is in like the 650 range. That is a concourse made by the same company. I think it was a British company with the correct horn button and all that. I think they're newly done, like remanufactured. I don't think they're old stock, but you can purchase them and it's the real deal, which I originally wanted. The only thing that stopped me from buying it was one, the price is double the price of this steering wheel that we purchased, and two, the horn doesn't work on an actual street 65 GT350 nor the competition model. It actually has a switch, and I'll show you a video or some images here so you can see how that works.
Now, in a rush to get these cars into production, the manufacturer was unable to fit these cars with a horn button. As a result, for 1965, a horn switch was installed as a workaround.
On this steering wheel, it looks just like it, and the horn actually works. And if you can live with the horn holes that you can kind of see, it's a great steering wheel. It's really, really pretty. It's highly done. The horn button is done high quality. If you guys have any questions, please leave comments down below. I really wanted to make this steering wheel video. I think it'd be very helpful for you guys that are trying to figure out what steering wheel to put on your Mustang. Another thing I want to tell you is you can use the steering wheel on pretty much any Mustang. You just got to change the hub. CJ Pony Parts and Summit Racing have the hubs and steering wheel and the horns. I'll leave the links to all the parts I purchased. I purchased mine through Summit. This is not a sponsored ad. I paid everything in full. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.